Hello everyone, welcome back. So Hawk's MC month is over with the exception of the upcoming reading vlog for Coyote, which will be coming out hopefully not long after the book is released on December 1st. However, it is holiday season, so we're going to be getting into the holiday romances, and we're starting off with a cowboy Christmas romance. And today's romance is The Best Cowboy Christmas Ever by June Favor. So let's get into it, shall we? So this is the story of Derek Shelton and Angelique Guillory. Derek Shelton is the sheriff of a small town in Texas, and Angelique is coming in from New Orleans, Louisiana, to find her long-lost father, Jim Garrett. She's also hoping that he will protect her and her daughter from someone who is chasing her from back in New Orleans. Her father accepts her as his daughter right away, no questions asked, as does one of her brothers, Tyler. There are, however, two other brothers, one by the name of Bo and the others by the name of Colton. Bo is kind of not sure, but he's not really gonna rock the boat, so to speak, until he has an answer one way or the other about whether she really is his sister. Colton, on the other hand, has basically decided that there's no way that this is his half-sister that, from years ago, that there's no way that his father had ever been with anyone besides his mother, which admittedly is kind of a difficult thing to admit. And is just assuming that she is here to take advantage of a wealthy rancher man in Texas. So all three of the half-brothers are married, and each of their wives basically hold the same viewpoint as their husbands. I don't know if it's because it's their viewpoint or if they're just standing with their husband. One way or the other, it's just how it lays out. The storyline is actually pretty good because you have this kind of unknown as to who's following Angelique. It's not like an abusive husband or lover or anything. It is someone else, which is kind of a fun twist. 9 times out of 10 in these stories, it's usually like an abusive husband or boyfriend. So that was a nice twist. It was also kind of nice to get the different viewpoints, which we'll get into in the character development. So overall, the story was pretty good. I will say the ending, I'm going to say the last quarter or fifth of the story just felt very rushed to me. There were a few plot holes that were left in there, not a whole lot, but a few. And then there were a few storylines that just magically out of nowhere they were corrected and fixed and dealt with, and there was really no rhyme or reason to it. It was just kind of like, oh, this obstacle is gone. But sometimes you have to do that in terms of time constraints for the story, and I understand that. I just wish it hadn't been quite so rushed. There was a part in the story that came to a really good natural conclusion. It was a little rushed, but the way it was done, it played into the story. And then towards like the very last chapter or so, it kind of came back with another ending, and it just felt unneeded to me. It didn't feel like it needed that. It was at a good place and it flowed nicely. Adding this second ending towards this plot point just seemed unnecessary to me. So as for character development, obviously Angelique is here finding her long-lost father. She knew going in that her father never knew about her. Her mother never told him that she was pregnant. So she in no way blames her father. And it actually enjoys getting to know him and her brothers and their wives and their kids. Her daughter very much enjoys having her grandfather around, and it's so clear that Big Jim, which is what everybody calls him, adores his grandkids. Anytime any of the grandkids, even step-grandchildren, come into the room, he's described as lighting up and, being so happy to have them there. He's very much a family man, and it's very cute. I kind of envisioned him as the Texan version of Kris Kringle in the way that they describe how he is with children. So their relationship develops pretty well. Angelique has to go through feelings like she is moving on too quickly from her deceased fiance, and feeling like she's betraying him in her feelings for Derek. And then, of course, she has to deal with the issue of the person who's chasing her from Louisiana. As for Derek, he has to get over the fact that he feels a loyalty to his best friends, who are in fact the Garrett brothers, who basically grew up alongside them. And two of them are unsure of her. One of them very obviously, vehemently so. So he isn't sure what to do here. He's very drawn to her. He feels very intense feelings for her, but he also feels this deep loyalty to his lifelong friends that he considers to be brothers. And then once that is resolved, he also has to get over his feelings of jealousy for Angelique's deceased fiance. I mean, he understands that it's unreasonable to expect her to not have any sort of a past, especially given the fact that she has a daughter that he adores very much. But he has to come to terms with it, and he finds his way through it. The story is not a dual POV. It is told basically third person. However, there are a few points where you kind of get in the heads of the characters. And normally I prefer dual POV, but I am really starting to appreciate third person narrative, so to speak. Each writing type has its place, dual POV and third person narration. So overall, I think it was a good story. I thought it was enjoyable. I think most people would enjoy it. I'm kind of in a weird spot. I don't know how to recommend this, because there are folks who do not like intimate scenes, and this one has an intimate scene, but it cuts off before the actual deed is done, so to speak. But there is a lot that goes in right before that. So if you are very strictly against any sort of intimate scene, then maybe not read that part. However, it is not so extreme that it will set you off if you're a little bit more in the middle of the road, so to speak. However, you can totally enjoy this story even without that part. Just when you get there, just skip it. It doesn't rely on intimacy to make everything like hot and heavy to propel the story forward. It's just a natural part of the story. So overall, I thought it was good. I thought it was pretty well written, aside from a few spots that could have been a little bit handled a little bit better, I guess. So I'd say I'd give this one about a 3.3 stars out of 5. It was a good attempt. I enjoyed the story. I will probably reread it. It's just not anything massively earth-shattering about it. But it was a very nice read, very sweet, very good for the holidays. So I hope this review was able to help you decide as to whether or not you would enjoy reading this story and give you an idea of whether or not you would like to go out and get it. I look forward to seeing you all at the next review. You have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.